Hello everyone, this is Zeeebo and welcome to this AFK journey video. So in this AFK journey video, we're gonna discuss about everything you need to know before you commit to Shemira so far based off our testing of her, both of the Pioneer server as well as the VN server in general. So Shemira as a character, I'll say pretty decent. And I think a lot of questions that I've seen in the comment section so far in the past few days is, hey Zeep, is Shemira a S+ angle, right? Is Shemira a pull over the Fairy Tail collab? I can't give an exact answer to that with regards to how strong Fairy Tail characters will be. I have no idea, right? But I can actually break down how strong I see Shemira to be and what she can do currently so that you guys have a comparison for that. And for the Fairy Tail collab, they will drop on the 1st of May. So I think you will have ample time to decide whether or not you want to commit to Shemira or commit to the Fairy Tail banner. Because if you consider the fact that, hey, Fairy Tail is a limited edition collab, it could be a little bit more valuable on the collection side of things. So that's for the Fairy Tail side. So without further ado, let's run through what Shemira wants to do first, right? If you take a look at the kit, mainly DPS centric, she does a lot of damage. So I'll say single target mostly, but her ultimate is technically AoE as well, because if the ghost pass through everyone, it's like a massive AoE damage. She has AoE damage on the sacrificial orb, quite a fair bit of single target with AoE damage on Ghastly Tribute if you have the ghost, and she has some defensive capabilities from her spectral barrier right here. So in general, I think Shemira's quite a powerful character all around as a damage dealer. And in yesterday's video, we discussed about the, I'll say, like meta AFK stage pushing team with her, and that is none other than with the likes of Iron, with the likes of Pheromore, as well as Twins and Tarsi for the control as well as the damage boosting, and then replacing Bonnie for Shemira right here. Okay, so she definitely has a viable PvE AFK stage pushing comp, but I'll say comparing between Bonnie and Shemira, both of them has good damage. Shemira slightly more damage centric, so like in stages where you need her raw damage, I think Shemira's a lot better, right? But Bonnie has the debuff, which slows down the enemy as well, considering the fact that Bonnie is also able to do decent AoE damage. Pretty impressive, by the way, in most cases, but it's just not as good as Shemira, assuming if they're on the same tier, because Shemira's pure damage, so Shemira's overall damage output is higher. So depending on the situation, I think in certain cases where, like if the enemies hit really hard, Bonnie would be your Graveborn semi-carry, right? If in certain situations where your allies can survive and your opponent can't hit you or burst you down or anything, then Shemira would be the better carry in that case. So I'll say both of them, they are equally strong on the AFK stage side. It just depends on the enemies that you meet up, as well as, you know, how far you are in terms of deficit pushing. So if you have Bonnie, or if you're intending to build up Bonnie, maybe for like the PvP contents as well, then I think Shemira can be put on hold for a little bit. So that's for the AFK stage side, okay? For the other PvE game mode, so today on the VN server, Ravage Realm just got released, and for the Immortal squad, right, Shemira's confirmed to be one of the carries for this boss. So yeah, like I think if you want to prepare for Ravage Realm, which will come on the global server in, I'll say like about a week's time, I guess, like one week plus, maybe next week, probably 1 week from now, then this character is a character that will give you the high damage output. So that's for the Ravage Realm side for Shemira. And on top of Ravage Realm, I think Shemira's performance across all the different bosses so far, we were able to test her on Plague Creeper. We were able to test her on Pioneer server for Talassa. On Talassa, I think she's as good as Odie. Very good magical damage, able to touch Talassa, able to cast all her skills on Talassa, and have the ghost pass through Talassa, right? So for Talassa's optimal teams, you have Ludovic, Smokey, and Odie with Twins and Reyna. So basically, she replaces Odie in that slot. So I think she should be quite powerful and meta for Talassa. I'm not sure whether or not it's top 1, top 2 worthy, but should be quite powerful there. But with regards to Plague Creeper, you have better answers. So I do have a replay from yesterday from my friend's account. So right here, Plague Creeper. So according to the damage comparison to other Plague Creeper teams itself, this is impressive numbers, but it is not the best team numbers. So I guess to a certain extent should be in the 4th or 5th like ranking kind of concept in terms of the teams itself. So generally speaking, I think so far based on our initial observation, Shemira's damage output is quite powerful on the bossing compartment, or if you're fighting against one single target, which makes a lot of sense because like she's basically Death Prophet. So for those of you guys who do not know, in Dota 2, she's one of the best 1v1 character, cause like, yeah, she's technically 11v1, right? Plus her 5 ghosts is 16v1 because the ghost is considered like one unit that attacks the enemy. So yeah, her single target damage is definitely there. So that's for Shemira, right? In terms of the other bosses, we didn't have the chance to test yet. So I think she's meta for Shellbrute today. Yeah, let me check the damage numbers. Yeah, so she's definitely meta because like she's in, like, her team is in the 94 range. So like if we go into, for example, the records over here. So yesterday's Plague Creeper, she performed this much, okay? Today's Shellbrute, this much. So yeah, quite impressive in terms of the numbers, and she's in like the top tier damage team for Shellbrute. So for that reason alone, if you are somebody that want to max out all your Dream Realm score, she's already a must go to. So that's for the Dream Realm side. Okay, so for the PvP side, I will showcase some replays and discuss about my experience using her on the Pioneer side for testing, as well as on the VN side. So for the Supreme Arena side, in terms of her performance, I think in the Supreme Arena map setting, right, you should be able to actually make her work there because she works with the Iron Armors combo. So like right here, right, so you can see her numbers are still really good. So obviously like we lost here because of the tier difference, but with regards to the Supreme Arena side, with the Wildest faction in place, one of her biggest problem would be surviving until her ultimate come out, or maybe making up for the lack of control from her kit itself. This is where you can actually put her with all the existing powerful control characters in the Wildest faction, and then put her as a prime carrier for the Wildest faction so that she can survive, get to her ultimate, and then win you the battle from there. So her damage number is definitely impressive, right? I think we have one more run here. Nope, I think, yeah, okay, we weren't trying her out, we were just trying to win Mina here. So I think Mr. Hua here is, yeah, so this is Shemira's performance. We're going to run through the replay just to run through how she works, okay? In the PvP side, both in the normal arena and the Supreme Arena, I think in Supreme Arena, she's definitely usable. Her damage output is really good. The moment the ultimate comes out, you basically win the fight. And because we have the energy charging artifact that is able to bump up her energy, right, throughout the start of the battle, she's able to get to her ultimate really fast. So that's for the Supreme Arena side, because you have the artifact, you have the team, and you have a lot of synergies that can make her work. So this is where I think with the overcharge spell synergy with Shemira, getting to her ultimate is most of the time going to win you the game. Right, so that's for the Supreme Arena side. So Shemira is a very ultimate reliant character. So going by that idea, when you go into the normal arena side, if you were to build teams to get to her ultimate as soon as possible, we also did some testing. So I think she's not as fast as compared to Atalia. She gets like snapped down by Atalia based on all these records over here. But one very interesting mechanics that you might want to know. So we lost a lot of matches against Cryonaya right here because we were testing some mechanics, right? Whether or not Shemira can 1v1 Cryonaya. So yeah, I apologize to Jackie for this, but let's run through the outcome. Okay, so let's go into this one. Run through the replay. So this is Shemira 1v1 Cryonaya in her ultimate. So for those of you guys who do not know, in most cases, once Cryonaya gets off the ultimate, and if your team is not like some mega buffed up Harrock, you can't actually fight against Cryonaya, right? Because Cryonaya is one of the best in terms of 1v1 when her ultimate is up. So in this case, right, we are testing whether or not, number one, the ghost actually passed through Cryonaya in her ultimate. Okay, and right here, it does. Okay, take a look at Cryonaya's HP and the shield. So she just got bursted down by Shemira over there. And so if Shemira's able to get the ultimate before Cryonaya's ultimate comes online, you can see her 1v1 prowess. So yeah, like she is going to be really powerful, provided you're able to get off the ultimate. But against like the really fast-paced meta, like for example, your Atalia meta, or maybe your Tarsi Bonnie with Talene Burst Com in the Supreme Arena side, might struggle a little bit there. So that's with regards to Shemira. I think generally speaking, pretty well-rounded character and looking to be the best character this season so far. Similar to Bonnie last season, because like she's pretty meta for the AFK stage side, being able to push massive AFK stage numbers. Decently usable for Dream Realm so far, as well as for the PvP side. As long as she gets the ultimate, I think she's probably going to dominate the game. And I think going by the idea that she's quite good for bossing, good supremacy should also be a thing for her if you don't have better carries. And if we were to come in from a new player angle, I think she's quite powerful as a startup carry for you to push through contents. So that's my thoughts about it. But if you're developed and you want to save up for fairy tales, then feel free to save up. Wait until more info is released in the next few days before we discuss about whether or not you should commit to fairy tale or just all in into Shemira. Okay, thank you very much for tuning in. I'll see you guys again in my next video. Bye guys.